Apply the mental mind force. I predict that someone's gonna play Infinite Impermanence. I got this feeling in my head. On YouTube, it's your boy, the Memphis Accelerate, welcoming you back to the 100 Days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where every day for 100 days, we're dueling with a different deck every single day. Today's day number 96, and I'm being extra quiet because everyone's asleep at the moment, and which I could do as well, but it doesn't matter to me, because we're playing a look at the new Psychic monsters. We're taking a look at the Psychic Grandeur, that is all the new, Psychic Blasters, and the new Absolute Axon Kicker, and just trying to summon out lots of big old Psychic Synchro monsters in this deck. It's very straightforward, but we got some neat tech cards in this particular version. So we got ourselves our Psychics. We're going to be showing off the combos and the wombos, the what do's and the what not do's. And we'll have ourselves a good old time summoning out our Psychic boys and laying into our opponent with some nice straightforward beatdown. So, of course, today's shout out is going to go to Mr. Levi's Stories, who sent us this deck via our Discord, and I've been looking forward to taking a look at this. We got a taste of this back with Cash Foes, but this one's going to be all Psychics all the time. So we got ourselves our deck. I'm going to be showing it off. As always, if you want to know the whole deck profile, it's going to be at the end. For now, let's go right into the action, show what this baby can do, hit up all the good buttons and all that good stuff. And enough talking, let's start abusing our mind powers. Alrighty, everybody, our first opponent, another day and another card game. Today, we will make use of our Psychic powers to predict exactly what my opponents are going to do. Except, right now with rock, paper, scissors. Because using Psychic powers while playing rock, paper, scissors is definitely cheating. So we shall use our mental mind powers to predict our opponent's moves otherwise. And, we'll see if weeks of sleep deprivation gets in the way of that. Because we're almost there. Almost at the end of the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! We got to finish strong, everybody. Finish strong together. But we have ourselves a nice opening hand. I would have loved Processor here. But either way, we do have our Serene Psychic Girl. She is one of the most important members of the new Psychic Age. Because by banishing one of my cards, such as my Esper Girl, I can summon out Mind Procedure. Just having a little Mind Procedure here. And what this guy does, you pay you 2,000 life points when you get special summoned by stuff. You can add a teleport spell, and we're going to get teleport fusion because that's a very, very useful for later. For now, though, we're going to go into our first Synchro, which is one of our cooler ones, which is Silent Psychic Magician. He's really cool because he's a tuner, but he's also a non-tuner. It's one of those rare monsters that can be both. And let's see, 5, I want 9, so we want my procedure back. We want that guy back because we can revive a monster and increase its level by 1. And this is going to allow me to go into my Psychic Blaster Mark II, which is a nice bit of interaction I can do onto my opponent. And let me think about this. Actually, I can do something else here. Let me just double check my numbers. Let's see. 1, 2, 5. I think it was an 8-star, right? Yes. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to activate our emergency teleport spell, and we're going to summon out our Psychic Processor. This is a really cool card because once per turn, you go ahead and banish it from the board. You can summon out 2 Psychic monsters from the hand. And the best thing is, next standby phase, this just goes back to my hand. Now, Rise Bell, the Star Adjuster here, can give a monster up to 3 levels. That's what we're going to do, make it level 5. That way, I can summon out Thought Cross Archfiend as well. And let's see, was you attack? You were more defensive. I guess that's fine. It's totally fine. Let's see, what's banished at the moment? Okay, we're going to use our Thought Cross Archfiend. We're going to revive Esper Girl right here in defensive mode, and her effect's going to go off. So this is going to banish the top card of my deck, and when she's removed from the board, I'll get to get that card back. It's pretty neat. And I could go for Psychic and Punisher. That's certainly a very tempting option. but we'll do that guy later. I think we'll be just fine doing this. So we got ourselves a nice opening board here. Processor's back in the hand if I ever need him back. I've got my Banish Telefusion, which I kind of wish was something else, but it's fine. Twin with Earth. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm glad. Okay, I'm sorry, Esper girl. You were right to banish that. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so what is this dude doing? Let's see. Durandal. I'm predicting this is Flame Swordsman. Yes, this is definitely a Flame Swordsman deck. I'm not simply saying that because it's the new card on the block. It's because he's clearly playing Fire Warriors. Nobody plays Infernal Knights anymore. And I can simply read my opponent's thoughts. See, it is in fact Flame Swordsman. I told you. Psychic powers, man. They're scary. Now, if only I could use them to win the lottery, that would be even better. But either way. So my opponent's going to summon Dark Flare Swordsman. Let's see here. What does this do? This lets him summon out of... Oh, yeah, lets him summon the fusion. Okay. I do low-key remember everything about Flame Swordsman and, like, what they do. Okay, that negates targeted stuff. Cool. That's neat, I suppose. This is going to add a Flame Swordsman card. That being the realm... Can I activate effects when you normal summon a fire monster? Wait, what else did that say? It's only when he summons something. Okay, that's fine. I can deal with that fairly well, because I have Mark II. Just banish a psychic monster, banish monster on the board, gain life points. Which is certainly something I would like to do. Because one big thing about psychics, at least with like the early ones, is that they pay a lot of life points. So ever since, a lot of the psychic monsters have a thing about like gaining life points back, especially with the synchro monsters. They really like to just reclaim a lot of their life points. And this is going to ditch the fusion, right? Like the fusion dragon. Monsters banished from deck or extra deck. It's either going to be Salamandra. Okay, it's Salamandra. Okay. And with that, you can equip that onto a dude. That is something you can indeed do. Get another Salamander fusion. Oh man, you're going to do that... Okay, you can only do that once per turn, though. Right? Yeah, you can only do that once per turn. Okay. So my opponent will do the fusion summon. And that will summon out his big old fusion monster. Let's see. That's only when he normal summons stuff, though. Okay, so we're going to just wait another second. Wait another beat here. Because he's going to try and equip that card onto his monster. So we're going to use our Mark Blaster here. I'm going to go ahead and banish. It doesn't really matter who. I'm just going to go ahead and banish Ulti Flame Swordsman. That way I'll gain a big bunch of life points. And my opponent's denied a big beat stick. So, should be okay here. I mean, granted, he is going to do some more here. And I'm going to go ahead and use my other... Yeah, let's just go ahead and use Cross Arcfiend's effect again. Just bring back Serene Psychic Girl. And let me think. Yeah. That ought to work. That ought to work pretty darn good. Yeah, because right now this guy's just trying to, you know, stack as much as he can onto the Flame Swordsman. But we're going to go and use Serene Psychic Girl's effect again. Banish Processor, because it'll come back later. And let's go ahead and summon out... I really wish I had a monster I could special summon and like got rid of my opponent's cards. That would have been cool. I could go for Wielder, but I don't think that's going to work. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and Mind Procedure just in case I need it. Because at the very least, this will like deck thin me a little bit. I don't need all my life points or anything, so let's go ahead and get our third Teleport Fusion. Just in case I need it. Alright. So we're in a pretty decent spot here. Let's see. So yeah, he's got the Flame Swordsman. I should mention Thought Cross Arcfiend does have another effect. Where I can tribute a monster and gain attack points and life points equal to that monster's attack points. So yeah, doesn't really help you too much, although it does cancel the battle. But that's neither here nor there. I'd rather him not get to beat over my monster. Alrighty. So, we're in a really good position here. This is what our Psychic monsters want to see about on the board. Let me double check my levels here. 1, 2. Oh yeah, we got like I have 3 tuner monsters. Let me think about this because I kind of want to go for Rise Bell. Can I summon out Psychic and Punisher? I could do that. I could do that. Oh, my opponent surrendered. I should have seen that coming. Okay. But yes, that is what our deck wants to do, everybody. I was just about to get into like the big plays though. I was going to do my Telefusion, bring out my ultimate super duper Axon kicker to destroy my opponent's monsters, and I could have made, you know, Psychic and Punisher and all sorts of stuff. But unfortunately, my opponent, unfortunately, we were able to out them just a little bit too hard. But that is essentially what this deck is all about. Just overwhelming Psychic powerhouse of a deck. That is what we want to see happen. So let's go ahead for duel number 2. Show off what this deck can do and keep destroying my opponent mentally. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. They're going to throw scissors. I knew it. Psychic powers, man. Psychic powers. Okay, so anyway, let's go first again. I'm mostly going first because of mind over matter. That's really like the main reason we are going first in this deck, I will say. But we got our Serene Psychic Girl again, so we have basic combo here. And I also have Psychic Minister, which is going to be perfect because that'll allow me to have, you know, stuff if I can use up for mind over matter. Which is like a really nice counter trap card. This will just allow me to tribute my stuff, get rid of my opponent's special summons, their spell traps, what have you. So let's see. What was the other effect of this? Oh yeah, I can change my levels if I really needed to. You really do that with Serene Girl. That's more like what Rise Bell is for. But you could change your levels. What was it? It was like up to the number of psychics you control, yes. So let's go ahead and bring back your level 3. You know, just to get the ulti blaster on the board, you just kind of go for a 3 here. And we should, like I said, this is pretty much the most basic combo this deck does. You know, just as a start, I'm up to have a little bit of interruption on my opponent. Have myself a Minister on the board. We have our mind over matter. I'm just going to set everything. It doesn't really matter too much. And we'll see where this is going to go. Let's see. I have a monster that's banished, so let's go ahead and bring back Rise Bell. We don't really need him at the moment, but we'll summon him anyway. Just because I can show off, like, this is how he works. I can just increase a monster's level by up to 3. So, there you go. No, nice level 12 Psychic Blaster Mark II. There you go. That was the name of the deck, by the way. It's Psychic Blaster Mark II Turbo to level 12. That's the name of the deck. But, you know, the jokes aside. This is pretty much... let's see here. Bashima... That's not great by any standards. Let me double check my extra deck, if I might. Because this can banish all my opponent's face-up cards. Okay. That'll work. Okay, we have something to stop the Horus rising. Okay. Because Horus is a pretty cool, like, archetype to play around with. Although I don't like how most people do about it. Most people are just about, like, summoning out all the Horuses and kind of sitting on them for a while. Which is viable for certain. It's certainly a viable thing one can do. I just don't like it too much. But if I time this right, I should be good. In fact, I should be beyond good, depending on what exactly my opponent's going to try and do here. Because, oh balls, I cannot allow that. As much as I am not... I'm not, like, scared of this, but you don't really want grass looks greener to go off if you can help it. But yeah, we'll use mind over matter. Mind powers. And that'll get rid of the grass looks greener. Woo. That could have been absolutely, horrifically, terribly bad. Oh, I am so glad I'm playing this. Oh my goodness. That would have been absolutely horrific. Absolutely, positively horrific in every conceivable definition of the word. I'm looking for newer, bigger words just to describe how bad that would have been. Okay. So I think he has all the Horuses after this, right? Yeah, that's the last Horus. Yeah, because he discarded Duamfe for the first one. Alright. Get yourself Imseti, the glory of Horus. He's a glorious boy. There's Happy. Love to see him. Okay. So I assume he's going to summon all of them. That would be my assumption. And then he's going to try and run me over. But that's where we're going to hit this dude with the telefusion. Which, you might think this is a bit overkill. But I don't agree. Anyway, we're going to use our teleport fusion here to summon out our absolute Axon Kicker by banishing our 2 fusions here. Because when this is fusion summoned, I pay 2,000 life points to banish all my opponent's face-up cards. And since that's not destruction, mind you, that doesn't protect the Horuses. So, yeah, my opponent's not technically done by any standard. Like, he could summon King of the Skull Servants, but that's about it, barring whatever my opponent has in their hand, which is a monster, and that could mean a lot of things. It could be... Let me think. What is my brain telling me it is? It's telling me it's Mizuki. My brain is saying Mizuki. Now, is it Mizuki? Possibly. Let's see what we are going to do here. I think that's good. Let's summon Recover, which is literally a book on legs, which is hilarious to me. It kind of reminds me of that old monster, Buku. Kind of reminds me of that. So, let's activate our E-Tally. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, go for Rise Bell the Summoner Boy. I'm just, let's see, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm going to increase this dude's level by 1. Because I want to go for somebody different. I could go for Thought Cross again, but nothing beats a good Thought Ruler Archfiend. The original Psychic Boss Monster. Love this guy. This is one of my favorite old synchros, just like throwing anything. Kind of just throw this guy to anybody. Let's see here. This guy does not have piercing damage, so what we're going to do, attack with our Thought Ruler Archfiend, man. See what this is. I knew it. Psychic powers. What did I tell you? And this way, we'll just, you know, we'll do a lot of damage to my opponent here. I do low-key... Actually, hold on. Before I do anything else, because I don't want this to be an issue. Hopefully, I'm not wasting anything doing this. But I'm going to banish Ruler Archfiend. In the off chance this dude goes for, like, Relinquished Anima, I just want to make sure I, you know, don't mess that up. So, again, it's really going to depend on what my opponent can do from here. Like, he's got the Mizuki. That certainly opens up some possibilities for my opponent. You know, he can revive White Prince and link it off. He can bring back Ballardrock to try and beat over my Archfiend, which is at least something, I suppose. But we'll see where this is going to go. And I still have my fusion spell in the graveyard, because if he does destroy my psychics, that was summoned from the extra deck, so it won't count for Archfiend, sadly. But this will allow me to bring back a Banish Psychic monster, so it all depends, But yeah, this was definitely a case of, my goodness, our opening hand was literally exactly what we needed it to be. Because if I didn't have Mind Over Matter, this could have been a horrible experience. Because, you know, I like seeing Horus, and I like seeing Skull Servants combined with Horus. I do not like seeing the grass looks greener combined with those 2 archetypes at all. So, let's see. Okay, playing it close to your chest. Maybe. Alright, so you are going to bring back the Prince. But you're not going to put this in attack mode, meaning you don't want to link it off. Because... Let's see. An interesting proposition, sir. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and keep doing what we do. Thought Ruler just keeps attacking every monster my opponent has. So what is this? It's another Mizuki. Interesting. Certainly an interesting preposition. Alright. I mean, I'm going to keep attacking the White Prince. I have no reason not to do this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's going to be able to activate this at least one more time. I kind of doubt my opponent's playing 3 Skull Servant and 3 White Prince. Or not White Prince, but Lady in White. Because these are kind of bricks, so probably that's the last time he'll be doing that bit. So we'll see where this is going to go. I'm going to go ahead and set E-Tally just in case. And we'll see where this goes. We shall see where it goes. No. Because he has a second Mizuki. He can do the Mizuki again. Let's see. King of the Skulls would be at most, what, 2,000 attack points at this point? Definitely. Definitely glad that we got rid of the Grasslick Screener. That would have been Awful. Okay, so Mizuki is going to bring back Ballardrock this time. Okay, I figured he was going to come back at some point. I kind of had a feeling that was going to be the case. Alright, Ballardrock. Oh, okay, I see where this is going to go. So, never mind. Okay. Interesting choice. I was under the assumption that what my opponent was going to do... Oh, teleport fusion is still going off. Cool. That's great. I thought that wouldn't work on Thought Ruler because he was technically banished and all that good stuff. But I'll take it. Blaster Mark II's back. So here's what I was assuming my opponent was going to do with my psychic powers and stuff. I was thinking that they were going to use Light Prince to summon out a king, because that would have let Ballardrock use his effect to banish my Axon Kicker. That was my assumption anyway. I'm not sure why they didn't do that, considering that would have been a really good idea. But now we're in a much better position, because now Blaster Mark II, I can just banish my opponent's monsters. They had to face up, mind you, but if I banish Ballardrock, that's great. I'll take it. I will always banish Ballardrock when possible, because he's an ugly son of a gun, and he low-key kind of ruins zombies to some degree. I would say ruin because a lot of zombie decks just kind of rely on this dude, but, you know, I prefer Skull Servants as they are. I just like them better. I like them better. I like seeing zombies that aren't just Ballardrock Turbo. Like, back when we did the Vernisylph deck. We did Vernisylphs with zombies, and that was fun. That was a really cool thing. And I'd like to see more Earth zombies in the future so we can do more of it. Anyway. Ooh, Psychic Blaster Prototype. Remind me how you would discard this card to summon a monster that is banished. Who is banished at the moment? You know what? Why not? We'll use Prototype Psychic Blaster's effect. We're going to go ahead and bring back, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I probably should have summoned a monster first, but it's neither here nor there. You know, let's make Axon Kicker Beyond, man. Level 14. Make this dude huge. Let's see. Banish Psychic from the grace on this card. That's a 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, here's what we're going to do. Activate E-Telly. We're going to summon out our... Let's see, you're not a tuner, right? No, you're not. Let's summon out Ethper Girl, because she's a tuner monster. And then we're going to go ahead and just to show up more what this deck can do. We're going to go ahead and banish a couple Psychic Men. Yep. And summon back the Prototype Psychic Blaster. Because if I did my math correctly, yep, we can, in fact, make the ultimate Psychic and Punisher Man. So we'll activate our Psychic Blaster's effect. We're going to go ahead and, let's see, banish Ethper Girl, banish Ballardrock forever, gain a bunch of light points, and then we will attack our opponent. I can also gain attack points equal to the difference in our life points right now, so just big numbers, which is funny because we're up against Skull Servants, and it is us who will do the damage. Also, why is Pegasus in here? Why is Pegasus? That sounds like it would have been part of a really cool combo, but unfortunately not for my opponent. So, good on us once more, showing off what the Psychics are all about. As you can see, it's simple but very effective sort of things we do here. So, let's go ahead for one more duel tonight. It's late for me, so I'd like to go to bed sometime. But one time more should be good, because we're showing off most of what this deck is trying to do. There's very little else we haven't done, so let's just see what kind of opponent we can get for our third duel. Alrighty, everybody, our third and final opponent to the Psychic Battle Duel. That's what this one is. And we're up against a guy called yugioh, which probably means this is elemental heroes and things. So we definitely still want to go first. So I'll just cheat and use my mental powers to tell what he's going to use first. And let's see what we have for a hand here. Not exactly the hand I was looking for. Let's see here. We'll see. We'll summon our Psychic Procedure, though, to get things started. I do have my Psychic Blaster, which is nice. I do have also E-Telly. Now, it'd certainly be able to allow me to go into, like, my Mark II easier. Let me think here. Because let's see, Psychic Blaster I can use to summon out Rise Bell And then I can summon out Wielder if I needed to. I wish I had another normal summon is like the one thing I wish I had. But let's go for Telefusion and see where it goes from here. So we'll use our prototype Psychic Blaster. We'll summon out Rise Bell. Get that boy on the board and all that good stuff. We're going to go ahead and give Mind Procedure a nice little boost to his level. And actually, maybe I'll save everything else. Let's keep this last duel nice and simple to start. We'll summon our Psychic Blaster Mark of a Fecund. We'll set a card. What's in my... Oh, yeah, I can revive Blaster. Let's see. Banishment leaves the board. Huh. Oh, well, it's too late to do that. Yeah, that's fine. We'll save that for next time if we need it. I could have had 2 copies of Blaster Mark II and possibly done some other things beside that. Possibly that was a bit of a misplay there. I could have summoned some more monsters, perhaps, but I think it'll be fine. I've got a nice big beat stick on the board. What is my opponent? We got Valhalla, you say? Okay. Interesting. Terraforming on top. Okay. So this is Lair of Fairies. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's not good. That's not the best thing in the world, but okay. Lair of Darkness alongside some Valhalla action. Interesting. So what sort of fairy are you attempting to summon which you would need this? I am curious. I don't remember too many fairies that require tributes. Okay. Darklords with Lair of Dark... Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okie dokie. But yeah, I definitely could have done a little bit more. Well, I'm still trying to think in my head where I could have done better there. Let's see. If I'd kept those 2 on the board, yeah, I could have special summoned Wielder. And then brought back Blaster. Well, I would have to have done Blaster after synchroing, so... I think I'm still okay. I don't think that... Maybe there's less I could have done than I'm thinking. But regardless, he gave me Itchel for some reason. I guess that's cool. I mean, nice defensive monster. I'll take it. I mean, Indulged Darklord's always been like that monster that, you know... It can search your Darklords. Actually, why did it give me Itchel? Wait, wouldn't you prefer to had Itchel so you could have drawn more cards? Or am I just being a foolish fool for thinking that? I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. So, Foolish Barrel of Goods. That lets him copy this. Okay. So he's going to send one of his Darklord spell traps. Then he's going to normal summon the Amdusk, I would assume. Because then he can, you know, copy that effect. Okay. Amdusk is not a quick effect, correct? It is not. Okay, that could be useful. Alright. So basically what is going to happen is this. Okay, no. Amdusk will do his other effect. Never mind. Okay. So he's just going to search Banishment of the Darklords. And use Capriccio, whatever that does. Makes me slightly smaller. Okay. I'm very confuddled by what my opponent's trying to do here. Like, what is the plan exactly? I mean, I'm seeing the Banishment of the Darklords, adding any of the Darklord cards that you wish to have, getting Contact, interesting. Did Superbia hit the graveyard? I don't think it did. No, it did not. Okay. You know, I'm still going to use Psychic Blaster at some point during all this. Definitely feeling like that is the best possible thing to do. So what does Capricious do here? You can activate the... Let's see. Tribute summon a fairy face up. Okay. Does that work with Lair? I could be mistaken. I don't think that does, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Okay, what are we doing? Condemned Darklord. Okay. This is a very strange Darklord deck, I just want to mention. This is certainly one of the stranger ones. Let's see. Tribute summon a fairy, requiring tribute by banishing monsters from the grave instead, discarding a card. Okay. Certainly. Okay, now he will tribute summon Ah, it's Mernenster. Summon monsters. Cannot target this card with card effects. Oh, wait. Is this... Wait, how does this work? Yeah, it's a Darklord monster. Okay. Well, that is unfortunate. I guess I'll go ahead and banish somebody. I can't banish who I would like to banish. Let's see. Other than effect monster opponent controls. Okay, so let's banish yugioh, actually. Partly so he doesn't have it. Mostly so I get more life points and he gets less stuff. Now he'll only get one Darklord monster, so that's at least a little bit better. So we'll see where this is gonna go. I really need to make another Synchro before I go into my telefusion, though. But I think I can still make this work quite well, in fact. So this is why it's good that I kept a couple monsters in my hand. My good old Hush Psychic Cleric. He's all good. Let's see. Mind Procedure. Yeah, he got banished. So, what was the other thing? Yeah, I pay 1,000 life points to bring him back. Do I want to do that? I mean, that will search me a card and protect my life points a bit, so I'll take it. Let's see. Discard 2 Dark... Okay, this guy has a quick effect. Nastin is the quickie. Okay. So he could certainly get, like, his trap, perhaps? Hard to say. I would assume that's what he's going to do. I would assume if this guy wanted to be, like, safe, he would probably copy something that would get him the trap card. I don't know, but at this point, this guy seems to be yeah, there we go. Oh, the fusion trap. Okay. I was thinking the one that negates things, but you do you. Okay. So, what's this doing now? Discard a card, take a Darklord, add to hand, or send to the grave. Okay. My goodness, my opponent is playing some weird Darklords, let me tell you. I mean, I think this is all make... Okay, hello. 4 more Darks with different names to the grave. Tribute summon this card, triggering a Dark monster. You already tribute summoned, though. Also, you don't have that many Darks in the graveyard at all. Okay. Am I... Okay. I'm not sure if I should count that as a win, but I guess technically... Okay, here's what was going to happen. My opponent was going to wipe out all my monsters. Fair. That is 100% fair. So basically what I was going to do on my turn, summon the Cleric, summon the Wielder, go for a Psychic monster, and then I could have gone into my absolute Axon Kicker and just banished all this. So maybe he could have done something else. I mean, yeah, Nastin, all that good stuff. Could have done the fusion summon on my turn, possibly, but I'm pretty sure I had that duel locked in regardless. So as much of a kind of a cop-out that is, my opponent just ran out of time. I hate winning this way. I'm going to take it because I'm just going to take it because really we've shown off what this deck is going to do. So let's go for the end screen. Alrighty, everybody. So our Psychic Overload deck did pretty darn good today. You know, we were able to do our combos and our wombos. It's a very straightforward deck when you get down to it, the Psychics. As complicated as they might seem, and I realize I am definitely tired because I forgot to do my mustache. But yes, we were able to do what we wanted to do with today's deck. We summoned out our Psychic Synchros. We banished our opponent's cards. We banished our own cards, what have you. We had to show off a little bit of everything to one degree or another. Didn't really get to do like Brain Research Lab as much, but you know, for the most part, we did exactly what we wanted to do. Summon out our Psychic Boys. We got to Synchro summon a bunch, summon out big fusion monster, summon out other big Synchros, that sort of thing. So I'm happy with how the deck turned out. I hope everyone at home is as well. And again, thanks to the gentleman, thanks to Levi for sending us this deck, and thanks to everybody who's sent us decks this 100 Days Yu-Gi-Oh! It's almost over, everybody. Only 4 days left. Only 4 days left. It's crazy. I'm gonna have Spooky do tomorrow's video because I'm tired as get out. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit the like button and comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help the channel keep going because we got 4 days left, and we're doing pretty good sub-wise and channel-wise and everything. If we get to 915 by the end of the 100 days, I'll be happy. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, tomorrow's deck isn't quite done yet at all. I have to actually do that right after recording this. But yeah, we are going to be playing a hand trap style deck, which will be similar to one we did about a couple years ago on the 100 days. So I'm going to basically look at that one and then like add on to that. Basically, that's the plan. Keep it pretty simple. But here's today's deck for anyone who was curious as to what cards we were playing. Take it out, have yourselves a good old time with it. So for our main deck, we have 2 copies of our Overdrive Teleporter, nice guy to summon out monsters from the deck. 3 copies of our Prototype Psychic Blaster, which can just summon out monsters from the hand or the Banish pile. We have 3 copies of Mind Procedure to search out our teleport spells. 2 Rise Bells, the Star Adjuster, nice monster for changing our levels to whatever we need for synchro plays and stuff. It can also make your monsters go beyond level 12, which is just funny. 2 copies Psychic Wielder is a monster we can summon with a level 3 on the board, and it can pop stuff when it's used as material. 3 Hush Psychic Clerics, so we can banish stuff, and if he leaves the board, then you can revive those monsters banished by this effect. 3 copies of Hush Psychic Minister as a free body on the board. They can also banish my cards on the board if I need to, or banish my opponents, what have you. 2 copies Psychic Processor, really amazing card for both psychics and machines, and cybers for that matter, as it can just summon out monsters free from the hand. It's really good. 3 copies of Esper Girl, the original. You know, if she gets banished and then gets revived by things such as Front Cross Archfiend or what have you, she'll banish cards, and if she leaves the board, you get those cards back. She's also just a nice level 2 tuner. Then we have our Serene Psychic Girl, our most important level 2 tuner, because she lets us summon out other psychics from the deck. And she can also modulate levels, but you rarely do that. And then 1 copy of Recover, which is a card we rarely use, but in a late game scenario, if my opponent has more cards in the extra deck than I do, I can revive this thing. It just very rarely happens. 1 copy Terraforming for the field spell. 3 Teleport Emergency, because it's a non-once per turn summon level 3 or lower psychic. It's really great. 3 copies of Teleportation Fusion to fusion summon our boys. And then if our monsters do get destroyed, then I can summon out a banished psychic monster from my Banish pile. We have 3 copies of Brain Research Laboratory. If I'd pay life points, I don't pay life points, they go onto this card, and I can get an additional normal summon every turn of a psychic by putting a counter on this card. It's very high risk, high reward with Brain Research Lab. You know, if your opponent destroys it when you have a whole bunch of counters, you could potentially lose the duel with this thing, but it's pretty darn good. And then lastly, we have Mind Over Matter, is our counter trap to stop spells, traps, and summons. It's basically our own version of Elvazor Lagia, but in trap form. It also is remembering our old boy Mind Master. May he forever be banned, because I don't know if the game is ready for him to come back. Maybe it is, who knows. So for our extra deck, we have things like our Psychic Magician at 2, which is just a nice extender for starting up our plays. I say extender and start them. It's the starter to the plays that we will extend upon. Then we have things like Mind Castellan if I need to creature swap people. We have yugioh if we need some defense. Psychic Life Transfer, just banishing cards and getting more life points. We got old Zeta, which can quick effect spin special summon monsters back into the Banish pile along with himself, so that's cool. We have things like Thought Cross Archfiend, which is the new level 8 Synchro for Psychics. You can revive banished monsters, tribute monsters, gain life points, gain attack points. Really good monster all around. We have the OG Thought Ruler Archfiend, which I've always liked the most, but you know, that's just me. I like this dude. Beat stick, gain life points, and then if my opponent targets psychics, I can pay life points to negate. There's things like Punk Jam Dragon Drive, just as another monster that can get psychic monsters to the hand or sent to the graveyard, like things like Hush Psychic Minister especially. And let's see, we have our 2 Psychic Blaster Mark II for banishing my opponent's stuff, getting more life points, what have you. We can also revive banished monsters once per turn. We have Psychic and Punisher if I just need to have a giant beat stick up for my opponent. Also a good comeback material. 2 Ultimate Axon Kickers as our other fusion target. Just a nice monster with piercing damage and gains life points. Ultimate card here is absolutely Axon Kicker, because when he gets summoned, pay my life points, banish my opponent's face-up cards, can't be destroyed himself. Turn after he's sent to the graveyard, I can banish it, just summon out Ultimate Axon Kicker, and that's pretty darn cool. As for the side deck, there's things like DD Seeker, which just banishes cards on the board, which it's useful. We have things like Mind Tuner, which can banish monsters with hand or grave to increase or decrease levels, so that's pretty cool. And then we have our Psyframe Overlord Omega. If you find yourself making level 8s more often than not, this card can recover you some cards too, so it's pretty neat. So that's today's deck, everybody. I hope you very much enjoyed. I'll be back for day number 98. Tomorrow, Spooky Memphis will be the hand trap guy. and we are in the final stretch of the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! I am gonna go pass out. So I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, stay safe, stay happy, and y'all have a good one. Take care.